Have you noticed something curious? The moment you stop trying to arrive somewhere, you discover you were already home. The moment you cease the relentless pursuit of becoming someone, you realize you already are. This is not philosophy. This is not theory to be filed away in the mind's archive. This is the living truth that waits beneath every exhale, every pause between thoughts, every moment you dare to stop. Today, we explore the art of being not as a concept to master, but as the ground you're already standing on. What if peace isn't something you achieve, but something you finally stop disturbing? We have been trained since childhood in the religion of more achievement, more transformation, more becoming. The world whispers its relentless sermon. You are not enough as you are. Keep moving, keep improving, keep becoming. And so we run toward tomorrow, carrying yesterday on our backs, anything to avoid the devastating simplicity of right now. The doer in you believes there is always something to fix, something to refine, some better version waiting just beyond the next seminar, the next breakthrough, the next spiritual milestone. But watch closely, this pursuit itself is the problem. The very act of chasing completeness confirms the belief that you are incomplete. The striving for peace is the noise that drowns out peace. What if you are not a project to be completed? What if you are not a rough draft awaiting final edits? What if right now, without adding or subtracting a single thing, you are already whole? Let me offer you a simple image. Picture a pond on a windless morning. The surface is perfectly still, and in that stillness, the entire sky is reflected. Clouds, stars, sun. The pond doesn't try to capture the reflection. It doesn't practice being a good mirror. It simply stops moving. And in that stopping, the whole universe appears. Now imagine someone comes along and begins stirring the water with a stick, desperately trying to see the reflection more clearly. The harder they stir, the more fragmented and distorted the image becomes. They stir faster, convinced that with enough effort, with the right technique, the reflection will finally appear in its fullness. But it never does. Not until they stop, not until they set down the stick and let the water settle. You are that pond. The clarity you seek isn't created by effort, it's revealed by its absence. The reflection of your true nature is already present. It has always been present, but it cannot be seen through the ripples of constant doing, the waves of perpetual becoming. In not forcing, the truth surfaces. In not stirring, you see. You plan tomorrow, you polish yesterday, you rehearse conversations that will never happen, you replay moments that are already gone. Anything but be here, anything but rest in the naked simplicity of what is. Why? Because being here, truly here, means releasing the identity you've spent a lifetime constructing, the doer, the achiever, the one who's always working on something, always moving towards something. And that identity is terrified of its own irrelevance. It asks, if I'm not doing, what am I? Listen carefully. There is a difference between the laziness of avoidance and the conscious stopping of wisdom. Laziness runs from life, numbs itself, collapses into distraction. Conscious stopping meets life fully, but without the compulsion to manipulate it, without the need to be its author, editor, and director. When you stop, not out of exhaustion but out of recognition, something extraordinary happens. Life doesn't collapse, the world doesn't end. Instead, you discover that life has its own intelligence, its own rhythm, and it has been moving you all along. You were never the primary actor, you were the space in which the dance occurred. In not forcing, life moves through you. Right now, wherever you are, I invite you to do something radical. Stop reading with your mind and start listening with your body. Take a breath, not a special breath, not a technique. Just notice the breath that's already happening. It doesn't need you. It's been moving since before you woke this morning, before you developed an opinion about your life, before you knew you existed. Your heart is beating, your lungs are filling and emptying, your senses are functioning: sight, sound, the feeling of gravity holding you in your seat. None of this requires your management. None of this needs your approval or intervention. It simply is. And in the center of all this effortless functioning, you are here. Not the story of you, not the resume or the regrets, just the simple, immediate fact: I am. Notice that. Not as a thought, but as a feeling, being, existing, present. Don't dress it up, don't make it spiritual, don't turn it into another achievement. Just notice the space in which all experience is happening is not itself an experience. It's not coming or going. It's not yesterday or tomorrow. It is here now. It has always been here now. This is the crown. This is home. Not later, when you're more evolved. Not after you've meditated for 10,000 hours. Now, as you are incomplete stories and all. Here's what the world doesn't tell you. Stillness is not passive. It's not the absence of energy. It's the gathering of it. Think of a lake fed by 100 tributaries, constantly losing water through 1,000 cracks. That lake never fills. It's always busy, always in motion, but never full. Now imagine those cracks sealing. The tributaries continue to flow in, but nothing leaks out. The lake begins to rise. It deepens. It becomes luminous with its own gathered light. That's what happens when you stop. The energy that was leaking out through compulsive doing, through worry, through the endless mental rehearsals, that energy returns. It pools, it accumulates, it becomes a reservoir of presence. You don't get this energy from somewhere else. You don't acquire it. You simply stop losing it. And in that stopping, you discover you are not weak, you are vast. The stillness isn't empty. It hums with the energy of unclaimed life. The light you've been searching for in workshops and retreats and books isn't out there. It's the light that was always here, no longer scattered across 1,000 anxious projections. It's the luminosity of being that emerges when doing finally rests. In not forcing, the reservoir fills. Now, some part of you is resisting this. It sounds too passive. It sounds like giving up. Let me be clear. Surrender is not resignation. It is not the collapse of the defeated. It is the relaxation of the wise. Resignation says, nothing matters. Why try? Surrender says, life matters deeply, but I am not its sole engine. Resignation is heavy, dull, lifeless. Surrender is vibrant, awake, responsive. One is the shutdown of exhausted hope, the other is the opening of trust. When you surrender not to circumstances, But to the deeper current beneath circumstances, action doesn't cease. It arises differently, not from fear or lack, but from wholeness. Not from the frantic need to prove or fix, but from the natural overflow of being. A river doesn't force its way to the ocean, it flows. Obstacles appear and it moves around them or wears them down, but it never stops trusting the pull of the sea. That's how you live when the inner knot loosens. You act, yes, but the action is grace born, not panic driven. In not forcing, right action finds you. There is something in you that must die, not your body, not your personality, not your capacity to love or laugh or create. What must die is the illusion that you are only the doer, that small, exhausted manager who believes it's holding the universe together with sheer will. When that one finally exhales its last breath, when it stops clenching and collapses into the vastness it was always carried by, there is a moment of terror because it feels like disappearing. The ego, that familiar sense of being a separate, solid someone, believes this is the end. It fights, it conjures fear, it insists, if I'm not doing, I'll vanish. But watch what actually happens. When the doer dies, what's left? Not nothing, not void. What's left is awareness, clear, spacious, transparent. What's left is the one who was watching the doer all along. What's left is you without the noise. Think of a candle flame. The flame believes it is the light. But when the flame is extinguished, was the space around it ever dark? No. The space was never dependent on the flame's flicker. The space simply is luminous by nature, and the flame was just a brief dance within it. You are the space, the doer is the flicker. When the flicker stops, you don't disappear, you recognize what you always were: vast, unborn, untouched by the comings and goings of experience. This isn't loss, this is liberation. This is the relief of no longer having to hold yourself together. The transparency of being held, of being breathed, of being lived by life itself. In not forcing, you discover you were never alone. Have you ever watched a tree grow? It doesn't practice, it doesn't workshop its leaves or consult a manual on branching. It simply grows. The intelligence that shapes the oak from the acorn doesn't second guess itself. It unfolds according to a wisdom deeper than thought, more ancient than strategy. This is the life available to you when you stop being the choreographer of your existence. Movement without motive, doing without the doer, action that arises spontaneously from the moment, not from the fearful calculations of a worried mind. The river doesn't plan its path. It meets the terrain and moves, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, sometimes around, sometimes through. The clouds don't rehearse their raining. When the conditions are right, they open and water falls. No hesitation, no second draft. When you rest as the self, as the aware space that you've discovered yourself to be, your life begins to move like this. Not carelessly, not recklessly, but naturally. Responses arise that are appropriate, elegant, spontaneous. You don't know where they come from. You don't need to. They come from the same place. The breath comes from the same place. The heart's rhythm comes from the intelligence of being itself. People will ask, but how will I know what to do? And the answer is, You won't know in advance. You'll know in the moment. The knowing and the doing will be one. No gap, no delay, no mental committee meeting to approve the action. This is trust. This is the harmony that emerges when you stop trying to conduct the orchestra and realize you are the music. In not forcing, life flows as grace. Here's something you can do, not to fix yourself, not to become more spiritual, just to see what happens. For the next 7 days, set aside 10 minutes each morning. Sit somewhere quiet, not sacred, just quiet. You don't need a cushion or a candle or a nap. Just sit and do nothing. Not nothing as in scroll your phone, not nothing as in plan your day, but genuinely nothing. Let the breath come and go. Let thoughts appear and disappear. Let sensations arise in the body, comfort, discomfort, restlessness, ease. Let it all be exactly as it is. Your only instruction. Don't interfere. Don't try to make it peaceful. Don't try to empty your mind. Don't try to feel spiritual. Just sit and notice. At first, you'll probably encounter noise. The mind will protest. The body will fidget. You'll feel like you're wasting time. This is normal. This is the doer throwing a tantrum because it's been benched. Let it. Don't fight it. Just notice. By day 3 or 4, something begins to shift. The noise doesn't go away entirely, but you realize you're not drowning in it anymore. You're watching it from somewhere quieter, somewhere vast. And in that watching, there's space, there's breath, there's the faint hum of being beneath all the noise. By day 7, you may notice something else. The 10 minutes feel less like a chore and more like water in a desert. The doing of your day becomes lighter, more fluid. Conversations feel less effortful. Decisions come with less agony. Not because you've achieved something, but because you've stopped over gripping. You've practiced the sacred pause. You let the pond settle. Try this. Not for me. Not for enlightenment. Just to see, in not forcing, ease returns. You are not merely sitting in a room. Geography is the least of it. You are here in the only way that matters, undivided. Not lost in yesterday, not rehearsing tomorrow. Here, with yourself, whole. This isn't a location, it's a condition. A condition of completeness that doesn't depend on circumstances aligning or problems being solved. You're not waiting for the right moment to arrive so that you can finally be okay. You are okay now. Not because everything's perfect, but because the one who needs everything to be perfect has gone quiet. In this here-ness, there's no victim and no victor, no story of triumph or defeat, just the simplicity of existence, the breath, the body, the senses functioning, and the awareness that holds it all without strain. From here, you can enjoy the world, not because you've conquered it, but because you've stopped being at war with it. Fear loses its grip when you realize there's nothing to defend, no small self to protect, no image to maintain. Pure awareness doesn't win or lose, it simply witnesses. And in that witnessing, everything softens. Here's a secret. You don't need your mind's permission to be free. The mind will always have objections. It will always find reasons to delay, to doubt, to complicate. That's its job. It's a brilliant tool for navigating the world, but it's a terrible master of your being. You're not waiting for the mind to finally agree that you're ready. You're not waiting for some internal committee to sign off on your wholeness. The mind will never say, okay, now you can rest. It can't. Its survival depends on finding problems to solve. So get used to being empty of concepts. Get used to the silence that makes the mind nervous. Get used to the space where knowing gives way to being. This isn't ignorance, it's the opposite. It's the clarity that comes when the commentary finally stops. You've been listening to the mind narrate your life for so long, you've forgotten there's someone listening to the narration. That listener, the aware presence, is what you are. It doesn't need the story to continue. It doesn't need explanations or justifications. It simply is luminous and still, whether the mind is chattering or quiet. In not forcing, the narration fades and presence remains. What you've heard today, let it fall into your heart like a seed into soil. Don't dig it up every 5 minutes to see if it's growing. Don't analyze it to death. Don't make it into another project. Just let it be. Seeds don't grow because you watch them. They grow because conditions are right. Darkness, moisture, time. Your heart is the soil. The teaching is the seed. And the growing happens not by your doing, but by life's mysterious intelligence. You don't need to understand every word. You don't need to memorize the metaphors or take notes for later. Just let something in. Let it germinate in the quiet spaces between thoughts. Let it take root in the moments you stop trying so hard. And then watch. Watch how your days begin to change. Not dramatically, not all at once, but subtly. A little more ease here, a little less fear there, a moment of spontaneous joy that arrives without reason. These are the signs the seed has cracked open. In not forcing, the seed becomes a tree. May your stopping be vibrant. May your being move as grace. May the sacred pause become your refuge and your power. May you discover the joy of not forcing, the spaciousness of not becoming, the completeness of simply being here. You are not broken. You were never broken. You were only believing the story that you were a project to be completed. But projects end, being does not. May you rest in the ground that was always holding you. May you trust the current that was always carrying you. May you know yourself as the stillness in which all movement arises and returns. And when the world calls you back to the religion of more, may you smile and decline the invitation. You've already arrived. When you finally stop reaching for peace, you realize you've been standing in it all along.